Growing up as a young girl, I think it's normal to receive princess treatment from someone like our fathers. We are seen as the light of life and that we can do no wrong at this age when we are young. Our fathers are the first men in a woman's life to show a woman what kind of treatment to expect from men. They are our first introduction to the opposite sex. Of course, as we get older, we learn that that might not have always been the correct model for us to learn from. But when you're a child, you don't understand this. Looking back at my old relationships, thinking about princess treatment and being called a princess or getting extra spoiled always felt really good. And it felt like you were seen and felt like you were treated very special. I thought to myself, I wondered, why? What's this whole thing about princess treatment? It's very popular right now. If you go on YouTube, there's tons of videos on it of how to receive this princess treatment. So clearly it's a popular topic for women. When you take the label off of princess treatment, what does it actually mean? If you think about it in terms when you're a little girl, you throw tantrums and then your daddy's there to console you and everything's fine. You tell your father, I need this, and then they get it for you. Your needs are being taken care of, your voice is heard, you're being respected, you're shown that you're being valued. And like most people, we all didn't grow up with the perfect household. So there may have been times when the father figure could not give you what you wanted, and that as a child made you question your worth and your lovability and makes you think that you are doing something wrong. It wasn't that there was anything wrong with you. It was just that the parent couldn't give you what you needed because of whatever they were going through. But as a child, once again, you don't understand that. You kind of just think, oh, I used to get this treatment from you and now I don't, and it must be my fault. So wanting this type of treatment in adult relationships might be showing you where a wound exists, where there might have been a void left from childhood. Disclaimer. This does not mean that you should not want to be respected, valued, heard, and taken care of. It just means if you are single right now and you are wanting somebody to come and save you and take care of your needs and give you that princess treatment, there might be a wound that you have to acknowledge and take care of. And I say this with so much compassion because I think it's really normal for us to feel fed up with feeling like we're doing everything alone. And it would be so nice if someone could just reciprocate what we want and our needs. But that's not always the case. Sometimes most of the time, we have to show up for ourselves first in order for something better to come along, something to match us where we're at. But it's not going to come until you start taking care of you and you start healing yourself. When I felt lack from my father, before doing the inner work and all the therapy I've done, to me, subconsciously in my head, if I could get another man to love me and to treat me in the ways that I wanted my father to treat me with love, respect, value, care, nurture, and just being aware of my needs, then that would mean that I was finally lovable. That maybe there wasn't something wrong with me. I think that's a way a lot of women think, or a lot of people in relationships think. They take the parent that they had maybe the most difficult relationship with in their family. They find a partner who kind of resembles them. Maybe they have the same characteristics. Now, this is all subconsciously. We're not intentionally seeking out people that are like our fathers, and we're not intentionally seeking out people that are like our mothers. But it's common for people to find themselves in these kind of relationships with the same kind of dynamic they found themselves in childhood. And they kind of go about the relationship and with this feeling of, if they can love me, then I'm lovable. And it's because of this lack or void that we had felt growing up when a parent wasn't able to show up and meet our needs completely. That's where that stems from. So if you see this, there's some healing that can be done in it. And it's hard to look at, but once you do, the other side is so much better because you're no longer going to be attracting people from this voided mentality of I need someone to love me, but rather I am lovable, I am worthy. What happened in my past does not define me. My parents did the best they could, and how they treated me does not determine my worth. Begin to give yourself princess treatment. If somebody sees that you set a standard high for how you treat yourself, they're either going to have to match you where you're at, or they're going to have to fade off, because you are not going to lower your standards to be with anybody. When you get rid of this need of hanging on to breadcrumbs from boys, you will start attracting men. You will start attracting men who are providers and able to give you what you want, rather than men who are boys who are wishy-washy, can't make a decision, and just can't give you what you need. You will attract high-value men when you start intentionally taking care of yourself and valuing your needs. To start giving yourself princess treatment, ask yourself what it is you need, what it is that you value in a relationship, and start giving yourself these things. Is it respect? How can you respect yourself more today? Is it to feel valued? How can you value yourself more? Is it to nurture you? How can you nurture yourself today? There's so many little ways in our days that we can show ourselves respect, care, nurture, and that we're listening to ourselves. And this is by being aware of our needs. Taking care of yourself in this basic way will begin to help build your self-trust within yourself, that you can take care of yourself and that you are worthy of taking care of yourself. And if you are in a relationship right now and you are wanting better treatment from your partner, but you realize that the dynamic is that you are way more obsessed with their needs than they are of yours, it's time to reflect. When we are obsessive over our partner's needs and thinking that they are more important in the relationship and their needs and happiness are more important than our own, they can see this and they'll agree. It's not that they're a bad person, it's just you've shown them to treat you this way, and so why would they change? Take the obsessive attention off of them. Stop giving your partner princess treatment and start looking at ways that you can take care of yourself. Once you get clear on what you want, then I think it's time to have that conversation. Like, hey, I really would appreciate if we had date night once a week, or hey, I really like when you spoil me a little bit, or hey, it feels really good when I feel heard by you. The right man will be able to listen to this. They will be able to have actions that follow their words. If this is not the man for you and you're telling them how you feel and they just, one, disregard it, or two, say they're going to change and don't, it's time for you to decide, why are you settling for something that no longer feels good? Because once you lay it out there and you tell them, this is what I would like, and they continue to treat you the same, it's on you if you stay or not, because they are showing you who they are, and you either have to accept it or get out. The best way to start providing princess treatment for yourself is having strong boundaries. When you have boundaries in a relationship with anybody, not just like romantic, it builds trust. It builds respect. Because when you have those boundaries, it shows others like, hey, I respect myself enough to say, like, that didn't feel good. That starts to build trust in the relationship when you have a boundary and somebody can accept that. But if you have somebody in your life who constantly tries to break your boundaries down or makes them feel like they're silly or like you're being overreactive or emotional, that is not somebody you want in your life, because boundaries help a healthy relationship grow for both people, because everyone has their limits. And if someone's not respecting yours, then what's the point of being in that kind of dynamic? Because clearly you're not being respected. It's really important not to beg, not to chase. Would a princess do that? No. Would someone who respects themselves do that? No. Be the person that you want to have show up in your life for you first. When you start doing this, you'll become so solid in yourself that you no longer will have to chase somebody who's not right for you. You no longer will have to beg somebody to treat you better. You will know, okay, this is their true colors they're showing me. It's my choice if I want to keep them in my life or not. Having this kind of discernment in your life adds so much value and respect to you, because you'll no longer accept clown treatment, but rather you'll accept high value treatment. It's so important to get to know yourself and understand what feels right for you and what doesn't. You deserve someone who plans ahead, makes you a priority, values you, respects you, listens to you, communicates in a healthy manner, does what they say they're gonna do. That's someone you deserve in your life, not somebody who gives you the bare minimum, cancels plans last minute, talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk. We all know those people. No, you are done with that behavior because now you are taking your power back and you're treating yourself as the princess that you are, and you're no longer going to accept anything less. Don't forget to keep connecting with yourself, keep understanding what your needs are, what your values are, because with or without this person, you're going to be okay because you are the one taking care of yourself, and you know your needs will always be met when you are in your own presence. I'm going to leave you with this. Steve Harvey once said, "What one man won't give you, another man will." Give yourself princess treatment today. Do something nice for yourself. Take a luxurious bath. Go out, get a cup of coffee, and just romanticize the life that's happening around you. You deserve to have an amazing, fulfilling life, and that starts with you.